What's going on, guys? Kp-dany here, welcoming you back to another NFL Pick'em video. And today we actually have Seahawks versus Patriots gameplay on the screen, guys. And that's a Super Bowl rematch, which is happening in Week 10 this week. So yeah, obviously, as you can see from the title, it's a Week 10 Pick'em video as usual. We're gonna be going over the last week, just like every week. So let's get straight to it, guys. Week 9 recap. Falcons over the Bucks. I picked them, and they pretty much rocked the Buccaneers' world. 43 points in their place. They just got knocked around. So, yeah, easy pick. Lions over the Vikings in overtime. I was devastated as a Vikings fan. I went through those two losses, the Eagles and the Bears, and I was like, they can't lose to the Lions, especially not at home. The other two games weren't even at home. But then they came and lost to the Lions. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but they could have scored 35 points easily. They had like a fourth and inches where they didn't convert. They had a blocked field goal, and then they had like a red zone opportunity or something where they had to punt the ball because they had like penalties and sacks and whatever. And then there was this other time that I don't know what happened. They missed. They just I don't know something happened. He missed the I guess he missed the field goal or whatever. He missed the extra point. Yeah, he missed the extra point. We wouldn't even be going to overtime if he missed the extra point because then we would be up 17-13 going into 27 seconds left in the fourth. Instead of Matthew Stafford coming back, 27 seconds left in the fourth, and he still gets a field goal, a 58-yarder. Like, how, 27 seconds, how do they let them score a field goal? Like, seriously. And then they go to overtime, and the Vikings defense has, like, a bunch of third downs, and they get picked apart by Matthew Stafford, and they get penalized, and two guys miss a tackle on Golden Tate, and he stays in bounds, and he gets into the end zone. It was ridiculous. I'm ranting about this. I should shut up. Okay, Eagles, Giants. That was also a pretty stupid loss. I mean, it was in New York, but come on, Eagles, you guys got to bounce back. You guys are losing games pretty fast. I mean, you're gonna lose. You probably might not even make the playoffs the way this NFC is going. With the Lions, with the Packers, with the Vikings, with the Falcons, with the Eagles, with the Giants, with Cowboys, all those teams trying to make the playoffs, and the Seahawks, not to forget them. Dolphins and the Jets. Yes, I picked the Dolphins. I knew they would win because the Jets barely beat the Browns the week before. Jaguars and the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs there because the Chiefs, they were supposed to win, but they only won by a little bit, like 5 points at home against the Jaguars. Come on, you're better than that. Cowboys and the Browns. I'm not even going to talk about that. Ravens at the Steelers. Something to actually talk about. How the hell did the Steelers go into Baltimore and lose this game? I mean, the Ravens are good, but they're not that good. Okay, and Big Ben is back. I don't know what they were doing. They were losing like they had like it wasn't 24. It wasn't a close game. This wasn't a very close game. This was a lopsided game, even though the score might not tell that. Saints and the 49ers picked the Saints, got the win there. Panthers at the Rams. I don't know what happened, but the Panthers still won. I don't know why they only scored 13, but yeah. Colts and the Packers, a shocker right there. Well, good for me because I'm a Vikings fan, but come on, the Colts went into Lambeau and beat the Packers? Like, I think the Packers are starting to suck. This is the end of an era for the Packers. They're starting to really suck. Like, Aaron Rodgers might be down to one of his last years. Not his last year, but one of his last years. Even though he's not that old. Titans at the Chargers. I gotta go. I went with the Chargers, yeah, and I won 43-35, a big shootout right there, but the Chargers won. Broncos at the Raiders. I knew the Raiders were going to win that one, and they did. Bills at the Seahawks. Okay, I picked the Seahawks, but I really, really, really thought the Bills should have won that game because they had like that whole kicker thing where Dan Carpenter got hit by Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman, in my opinion, should have at least got an unsportsmanlike conduct. One of those penalties that if you get two, you get knocked out of the game or something. He should have gotten one of those penalties, if not ejected. I mean, that was a cheap shot. And then they took the kicker out on the next play. This was ridiculous. Like I couldn't believe like that. And then they still lost. It was like the game was like supposed to be a Seahawks win. Like the refs were paid by the Seahawks. But yeah, um, enough with the Seahawks right there. Let's get to next week. So week 10, we got the Browns at the Ravens. Easy pick right there. If Ravens can beat Steelers at home, they can beat Browns at home easily. Easily, guys. I have no doubt. Texans at the Jaguars. I gotta go with the Texans because the Jaguars are looking like a really bad team, and the Texans usually win in their division. Broncos at the Saints. The Broncos probably gonna go in there and win, even though the Saints have a great offense, but their defense is pretty bad, and the Broncos' defense is good. So I'm gonna go with the Broncos there. Rams at the Jets. That's a tough matchup because outside of their division, the Rams have troubles all the time. But the Jets also suck, so I gotta go with the Rams there. Falcons at the Eagles. Intriguing matchup, people. Intriguing matchup. I'm gonna have to say Eagles right here because even though this is like a playoff matchup, and the Falcons are a better okay, I don't know about that, but the Eagles and Falcons are good teams. Battle of the Birds, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles because they're at home, right? Because that's the tiebreaker right there. Because they're at home, they're pretty good at home. They beat the Vikings at home even. Chiefs at the Panthers, and that was when the Vikings were good. They were 5-0 coming into that game. Chiefs at the Panthers. I gotta go with the Panthers, even though this was a very hard pick because the Chiefs, what they did last week, it just changed my view of the Chiefs. I gotta go with the Panthers here, and because they're at home, and because they need these games because they've lost like 5 or 6. Bears at the Bucks. Gotta go with the Bucks there. No competition. I mean, the Bears suck. I mean, I am a Vikings fan, and they did beat the Vikings, but that was a fluke. They came into that game 1-6. Like, come on, Viking, and they're at home. Vikings at Redskins. Um, it's a very tough decision because I've been picking Vikings again and again and again, and they've lost 3 times in a row. So at this point, you think, are they gonna actually lose this one? But I'm gonna go with the Vikings again because I'm a diehard fan. Packers at the Titans. Man, oh man, the Titans actually might just win this game. They're at home. They just had a big scoring debut against. I mean, they just had a big scoring day against the Chargers, but that was the Chargers. Packers defense is different, so I gotta go with the Packers here. They're gonna bounce back. Dolphins at the Chargers. Speaking of the Chargers, I gotta go with the Dolphins here. Jay Ajayi can run over that defense. I mean, Chargers and the Saints are pretty much the same teams. They throw the ball and they have good offense and their defense suck. Same formula here. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. 49ers at the Cardinals. That's a tough divisional matchup because the Cardinals really haven't been playing so good, and the 49ers might win this game, but because it's in Arizona, I gotta go with the Cardinals to win this one. Yeah, pretty much. Cowboys at the Steelers. Big Ben, the Steelers could come back. They could win this game, but to do that, they need a lot of willpower and a lot of good play. I don't think they can produce that, especially against the Cowboys defense and their offense. The Cowboys offense will just run over. Ezekiel Elliott might just have a big day actually, so I'm gonna go with the Cowboys there. Seahawks at the Patriots, what you guys have all been waiting for. This is the matchup of the week, and I'm gonna take the Patriots as my lock. You got that right. The Patriots are going to win this game. They're at home. They're in primetime lights. They're going to win this game. This is where they belong. They're going to beat Seattle. And they're going to put them on the ground and beat them. Bengals at the Giants. That's a tough matchup because the Giants, you never know what's going to happen with them. And the Bengals, same thing. But the Bengals have been sucking this year. And it's in New York. So I think I'm going to have to favor the Giants a little here. But again, if the Giants win, this NFC East, and if the Eagles win, and if the Cowboys win, and if the Redskins win, this NFC East is maybe the best division in the NFL. And last year they were the worst division in the NFL, or possibly the worst. But yeah, enough talk about that. That's going to wrap it up for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed Patriots vs. Seattle, and catch you guys next week. See you guys later.